Stuart Clark of Hot Press. When did you first hear them? When did you first see them play?
It was 1990. They were supporting a band called They Do It With Mirrors in the basement of Cruise's Hotel in Limerick. We were there early. I'd been told there was an interesting new singer in the band. They'd been around with a boy singing for a year or two, and he'd left and found Dolores at Laurel Hill to replace himself. And I wish I could say I knew it was going to be the new Beatles or something, but she was looking at the floor, the ceiling, her feet, not at the audience, but the voice. There was something there. A guy called Pierce Gilmore ran a studio locally called Zerrick, saw that potential and put them on a very small retainer, 50 quid a week for a summer, to go to his studio to write in the morning and record in the afternoon. And a gang of us local hacks from various Limerick papers and magazines were invited to a little private gig in September to see the progress. And they came out, she did Linger and Dreams and half the debut album. She looked at us in the eyes, she owned the room, she owned the songs, and I thought, oh my God.
Did you know then that
I suspected very strongly, because Linger and Dreams are two of the most iconic songs of that decade, and they're still being played and listened to, and of course in the case of Zombie, sampled by Eminem on his new album. And I heard through a mutual friend before Christmas, Dolores was really delighted because the band are still relevant. There is that sense you get consigned to the dustbin of history, but I think the Cranberries had really seeped into the rock and roll consciousness. I'd have done the first press release for their debut cassette EP and got paid with a bottle of Jack Daniels, the best day's work I've ever done. And I remember Dolores getting her Leaving Cert results, and she came across to me in the bar in the Glentworth Hotel. Stuart, should I stay with the band for a year? Should I defer? I said, well, give it a year, Dolores. You'll have a fair idea by then how things are going to go. And I remember 6 months later coming back on a plane from London to Shannon, and they were doing a showcase gig in the Jetland Centre on the Ennis Road, and the plane was full of record company executives, only just barely shorn of suitcases full of money. It was that old-fashioned bidding war. 15 or 16 different companies, publishing companies wanting a piece of the action. She went for Island Records. Jeff Travis, who discovered the Smiths, was the manager. Stephen Street, who produced the classic Smiths albums, was the producer, and it was then all in place really for things to kind of take off.